Welcome to the New York Outlook for Wednesday, the 10th of January 2024. As usual, we'll start off with the economic calendar, and what we can see is that we've got this red folder, Bank of England Governor speaking at 4:15 my time, which is roughly an hour 15 minutes into the New York session. Given that we generally don't know what they're going to say, actually we never know what they're going to say, there's too much risk involved in keeping trades open or taking new trades during this time. For that reason, I will not be trading from around 4 o'clock, and that would essentially conclude my trading day, which means we'll chat again for the end of day review after this point. But yeah, I think in terms of actually taking any trades, for my trade plan specifically, none has presented, and it appears we largely in a range, so I won't be in any positions by the time of this news release, unless something occurs quite early in the New York session. But perhaps now is a good time to go into the charts. So starting off with what exactly happened since the London session. Essentially we pushed up a little bit. However, we're still confined within the secondary leg range, with this being somewhat of a unknown leg that has formed. But yeah, I think we just stuck in here, and for my purposes, my bias for the day remains to actually short, because that's what we have support for, and there isn't a Foyt pro-trend primary leg that has been validated yet. So longs are off the cards and only shorts are valid. Having said that, the only secondary leg available to us was validated on the 5-minute. However, since the validation point, we've essentially been within the secondary leg, and whilst you could have taken a position at this extreme, it presented at the wrong time, being towards the end of the New York session, and for this day being Monday, this was actually a new New York high of the day, and we didn't have support for a new high of the day being formed at this point. So yeah, there wasn't actually any valid trade entries to get in right here. From that point onwards, starting off on the new day, the issue on Tuesday was that we couldn't find a valid area to anchor our fib. One being that the secondary leg wasn't being extended, and the other being that the previous high and low of the day were not congruent to the direction we wanted to trade. So I guess moving on to the 5-minute, just to quickly touch on what I've just said. So you can see a secondary leg here, and if you could find a way to get into an entry right here using your fib to be something like this, and then keeping the trade open based on the assumption that this is going to be the high of the week, then that could have been valid. But like I said, in terms of intraday trading, taking a short here is certainly not intraday trading, because the day is pretty much over, so taking that entry for me personally didn't make sense. And then coming into the next day, while we could potentially still say that this POI on the 5 or 15-minute is valid, maybe if we come and take something higher, the issue now is how do we anchor our fib, because we can't use the current day, and like I said, the previous day is somewhat not congruent to shorting, because the previous low of the day is actually created before the high of the day, so the direction being in that direction, which essentially brings us to today. While I said my bias and directional bias is to short, the issue here is we have no POI backing. We don't have any fib to align to that aligns with the secondary leg, so our only options is either to wait for the secondary leg to be extended, or for the secondary leg to be reset, and then we can continue from that point onwards. But yeah, in terms of actually finding any entries, there were none in the London session, and based on where we are right now, it's unlikely that we're going to have any trades present in the New York session. And the reason why I say that is because in order for price to extend the secondary leg, it would have to move 60 to 70 pips, which is already 75 to 80% of the daily range for December. If we just consider the other direction to reset it, that's 85 pips, and the daily range for December is around 90 to 95 pips. So for that reason, it's simply a waiting game, and not trading during New York is my approach for today. That's the end of my outlook. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll chat again for the end of day review, which is likely to be quite a quick one for today.